Hi, I'm Todd Jones, host of the podcast Pressbox Access. Here's a clip from my interview with Dan Wetzel. Dan shares his all-time favorite recruiting story, which of course involves Tark the Shark, Jerry Tarkanian.
My favorite recruiting story, it's the Jerry Tarkanian story.
All right, okay.
Tark's got a number of great ones. So Tark's recruiting this kid from LA named Clifford Lee. He's about 7 feet tall. Everyone's recruiting Clifford Lee, and Tark's at UNLV. But then Cliff, I can't remember what the initial charge was, but he gets arrested for something, and he gets put in the juvenile detention center in LA, the El Paso de Robles Juvenile Detention Center. So Tark says, almost everyone bails on recruiting Clifford, but Tark's like, he's going to get out, and, I'm not going to, this kid's 7 feet tall, he can run, all this stuff, so I'm going to keep recruiting him, and he's going to get his GED inside the prison and the juvie. And so he goes down to the detention center and they got like the glass up and he's got the phone and he's, that's the home visit. So you want to come to UNLV? Cliff's like, no one else is recruiting me at this point. Yeah, hell yeah. So Clifford.
Yeah, just good to see somebody.
Put some money on it. Let me get some ho-hos on my books, gonna get some snacks. Put some money in the book. Anyway, Clifford Lee's going to go to UNLV, right? So this is a big score for Tark. He's going to get out this summer, and he's got his GED, all this stuff. So this is a big win. So UNLV at this time gets a new president of the university, and this is back in the late 70s or something. I don't know, maybe early 80s. UNLV is a young school at that point. Needless to say, not attracting maybe the best students in America. And so the president comes up with this new strategy that if you are, no matter where you went to high school, you could be in Vegas, you could be in Los Angeles, you could be small town Kansas, whatever high school in America you went to, if you were the valedictorian, you get a free ride to UNLV. Any school in America, right?
Sounds good.
Maybe we'll get some smart kids in here. Okay. So Tark's reading the paper and with the guys in the office, and he says, hey, this is unbelievable. If we get a valedictorian, we can get an extra scholarship. You get them on full academic ride, then you can recruit like a 14th dude, right? It's like a freebie. So they all joke, and they're like, Tark, what the hell you think's going on around? We ain't exactly, getting a lot of valedictorians in the UNLV recruiting. Where are we going to find one of these? So Tark goes, well, what about if Clifford Lee was the valedictorian of the GED program at the El Paso de Robles Juvenile Detention Center? So they all laugh. They're like, come on, man. Like, they don't have valedictorians of a GED program. So says, well, why not, right? So one of the assistants flies to LA. They find the guy who's who's running the GED program. They get him and they meet with him. And he says, can we make Clifford Lee the valedictorian of the GED program? Guy's like, we don't have valedictorians of the GED. It's not even how it works. There's not even you pass the test. There's not even a class. Like what? And the guy is, what about, maybe $500 or something? Oh, yeah, sure. What the hell? Guy's the valedictorian of the GED.
Right.
We're not harming anybody, right? So Clifford Lee gets named the valedictorian of the El Paso de Robles.
Much to his
surprise and everyone else's. So Tark's all excited. He's going to get now we can recruit this point guard from Phoenix we like too. We're going to get an extra guy. This is genius, right? This is where Tark really would get in trouble with the NCAA. He'd break rules that didn't exist because no one else thought of the rule, right? Like, he wasn't really cheating. It's just like,
right.
Well, wait a minute. We didn't think we had to write that rule. Okay.
All genius is right. Twisted, right?
So he puts in the paperwork. Well, even at UNLV and whenever this was, like the academic people are like, wait a second. Okay, you cannot have a juvenile detention GED program. So they set up a hearing, and Tark is going to go and make the case for Cliff to get the academic thing. They have a hearing. He's like, I think I got it. I think I'm going to get it. I think I got the votes. He finds out who's on the thing and gets all those people. So I said, all right, what happened? He says, weekend before the hearing, at this point, Cliff's out. He says, Cliff boosts a car in L.A., gets sent back to prison. The whole thing blows up on us.
Where is Cliff?
It's a sad story. He ended up becoming a murderer, and I don't know where he is now. Yeah, so it turned out for the best, yeah. But
Yeah.
Stories like that. Like, you just can't.
Well, you wrote a great book with Tark, Running Rebel. I highly recommend it if you want
300 pages of that.
Stories. Oh my! So I wanted to ask you, how did you report? How much time did you spend with Jerry Tarkanian working on that book, and what was a day like with?
The book took like 5 days to report, 4 days maybe. So Tark's a great storyteller and very organized, very hardworking guy. He's a son of immigrants.
And what a career. Think about this. 31 seasons, 778 and 202. 19 of those seasons at
and then
UNLV,
the JUCOs.
Where he
was nobody. Right. And he took over like Pasadena. He was coaching JUCO in the 60s, and almost no African Americans could go to college. Right. Even the schools out west, they'd only take 1 or 2 guys, and it would have to be a certain kid. He used to recruit. He'd go to like a playground in Watts and grab like 3 guys and put them on the Pasadena JC and go 33-1. Like he always had that credibility. Yeah. So I waited until he retired. He always wanted to do it. Tark was such a figure you had to write about. I couldn't get in business with him, although I did like him a lot. But I literally was in Vegas. I went to Vegas and sat there. He'd pick me up like 8 a.m. We'd drive around his car, go get breakfast, I don't know, drive around some more, hang out, and he would just tell story after story after story after story. And after like 4 days, I had probably 90% of the book. Easy book to write. He's a great storyteller, so very colorful guy. It was just like, I think I got enough. One besides,
yeah, please. I mean, how many more? I mean, we're gonna have four books.
Yeah, I'm like enough. I got yeah. I mean, there was probably some didn't make it. He just had great stories. He's a great storyteller. He's a colorful guy. I mean, he was awesome.
But he was a guy that really, he was like vilified, and he's kind of what we were talking about, black hats and white hats. He was the guy that was the black hat, suing the NCAA, fighting the NCAA. But there were other guys like that too, I think. And those were the guys that always made it fun if you're willing to go there with them, right? You just had to be able to ride with the so-called black hats.
They're a ton of fun. And yeah, their stories are, that one's insane, but he would look, he would talk about like rungs on the ladder and stuff. He'd say we get dumped on because my guys like didn't graduate, and now he's like working as a pit boss at the casino or something like that, or a floor boss and like that. But he goes, you got to look like I wasn't, that kid's home life and where he came from. He climbed more rungs on the ladder. And then, I'm not getting Grant Hill and Shane Battier out here, and right, so it's like, right. Yeah, Grant Hill was going to be really successful if basketball never existed. And nothing against Grant Hill. It's not his fault, or it's not Duke's fault. But, it's sort of like everyone gives us crap, but look what we did do for him. And, some of that was disingenuous. He mainly wanted to win. I'm always like, you guys are always trying to help out the underprivileged when they're 6'6". No 5'6" guys in the at that high school.
Right?
I guess no 5'7" slow kid needs any help. Oh, okay. I mean, they're full of crap too, but it's just a different. Right. I'm here to mold men. Well, there's a lot of ways to do that other than being a college basketball coach.